Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Brian Eyrick. I'll be one of the hosts, along with William, who you'll hear from a little bit later. I'm just going to let a couple other people join. And if you're already here, remember there's going to be a live Q&A at the end of this, so hang tight and we'll answer all your questions then. Give it about maybe another minute or two. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into it here. So this is going to go over our new graphic process. Some of you have already probably familiar with it if you've been ordering from us recently, but we kind of figured we want to show it all to you guys and answer any questions you had. So what we're going to be talking about is the updated customer account profile information page where you can add your logo and for the proof sheet and email and all that stuff. Your custom proof sheets, how to download them. We're creating them for you guys so you can send them off to your customers. No branding of WS at all. We'll go over the graphic specs page, how to add a product to your cart, adding a PMS match to your cart. We've upgraded that and made it much easier. You can do that on a product page now. Uploading art files, checking out, approving and rejecting proofs. And of course, like I mentioned before, if you weren't here right when we started this, we are going to do a live Q&A at the very end, so you can answer any questions you have. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the video that we made, and we will be stopping it every once in a while to kind of go over a little more detail on certain parts. And then after the video, we'll do the live Q&A. So here we go.
Today I'm going to show you a quick but detailed overview of some of the newer features we have for you, as well as how to navigate a few pages when placing an order on WS Display. Once we have verified your reseller number, you'll be able to log in, and once you do, it's best to jump over to the profile information page. Here you can add your company name, phone number, and general email address under the profile information. After that, you can customize your proof sheet by adding your company logo as well as the phone number and email address that you would want your customers to contact with any proof questions. This information will also be displayed on the proof sheet. I'll go ahead and upload my logo and preview it on our customer proof sheet to make sure it's being displayed correctly. First, I'm going to choose a more of a portrait logo. And now I'll be able to preview my proof sheet. Horizontal logo works best, but as you can see, the square logo works fine as well. I'm going to update mine from a square to horizontal. As you can see, it fills the space better. And now I'm going to preview my proof sheet once more. As you can see, the horizontal logo looks much better. Fills the space. If you're having any trouble with this, you can contact web@wsdisplay.com and we can get you fixed up. From here, I'm going to show you the graphic specs page. This has a lot of helpful information for designers. If you're not a designer, feel free to copy and paste this link for your designer. They do not need to be logged in to view this page. First, we have a checklist to run through before building your artwork. We go over different color modes, resolution, dimensions, preferred file type, and that you should not use our template spot colors when designing. If you do so, they will be removed during our proofing process. Next, we move on to the graphic design service with some examples of timeframes and price. After this, we have our new PMS color match section that goes into more detail on our process and how to send us those files that need to be matched.
Like I mentioned before, we're going to definitely go into more of the PMS matching, how to add a little bit more information on that. So hang tight for that.
Next, we go into more detail on our True Black CMYK mix and our reasons for choosing this specific mix. As you can see by the photos, if the file comes in with an oversaturated black mix, we get a lot of over-inking and the output has been more of a magenta hue. Our mix of 000100 uses way less ink and has a better standard True Black. Finally, we have our tips for adjusting color modes and designing in Photoshop and Illustrator. Just toggle between this tab. If there are any questions with anything on this page, please do not hesitate to reach out to our graphics department at graphics@wsdisplay.com. Now let's go check out a product or two. I'm going to head to our One Choice product line. I'm going to choose table throws, standard drape to be exact. 6 foot 4 sided. Here you can see the product page with a quantity price breakdown, description, specs, templates, etc. We have also added the option to add a PMS match to your artwork. So let's go ahead and add this item. I'm going to set the quantity to 3. Next, I will choose a location. Sometimes there will be a different turn time based on the location you choose, so be sure and keep an eye on that and maybe toggle between the 2 locations to see what's best for you. For this product, all are the same. Keep in mind that our PFC location, where most of the One Choice products are fulfilled, has a 2 business day turn time based on shipping restrictions. On the other hand, PFC will at times be able to produce items faster, especially large quantity orders. Next, I will add a PMS match, so I will go ahead and click yes. Once I do so, you will see I have some new information and a new field. First, you see the PMS color info link. This links back to the graphic specs page and is anchored to the PMS info section in case you haven't read it already. Second is a little info pop-up that describes how to add multiple numbers separated by commas. We have also added an example in the field itself. I'll go ahead and add my PMS numbers with commas. You will see these added once we get to the shopping cart. Also note that I added 2 PMS colors, so the total should be an extra $50. Before uploading some files, I would like to briefly explain what our Quick Proof system is. Our Quick Proof system is an automated proofing software that has been custom built for WS Display. It has been programmed with about 90% of our standard product template dimensions. With this information, it runs a size check on the file that is being uploaded and gives you the response in seconds. If it is not the correct size, you will see an error message pop up with the requested dimensions and the current dimensions. If the file is the correct size, it will help to create the proofs, proof overlays, and your custom proof sheets. Once completed, a notification email is sent to you. Once received, you can download the proofs and proof sheet directly from the email and send it off to your customer. If you already have your customer's approval, simply click the View Proof button, which directs you back to WS Display where you can approve. Please note that when you approve any item, you are approving all of the proofs for that item. Now back to uploading the file.
Before we do that, I just want to give you guys a heads up. This is obviously the new spot to upload files. If you want to, it's not mandatory. You can upload at the very end after getting your sales order, just like you always have been. But we just wanted to give you guys the option to upload here as well.
First, I'm going to upload a bad file so you can see what it looks like. I will click the upload button and find my file. Before the file starts loading, we would like to get a little bit more information from you. The more information we have from you, the faster we can get it printed and back to you. For this product, we just want to know how many copies to print of this file since we are ordering a total of 3. I only need 1 of the first file, so I will add the number 1. I then click upload. As you can see, QuickProof is telling me that the file is not the correct size. Luckily, the template is right here and I can download and open it in a design program and update my file or pass it to my designer and have them do it. WS can also make these adjustments for you for a small fee. Now let's see what happens when I upload a good file. I'm adding the copies of one, just like before. I can also add any notes that are specific to this file at this time. As you can see, my file has passed the size check and I get a notification saying so. For the next file, I need 2 printed, so I'll add the number 2. I'm using this same file, but you get it. For the next file, I need 2 printed, so I'll add the number 2. But what if I added an incorrect quantity that put me over the total items I've selected, like this? Remember, my total quantity is 3, and I added 3 more copies, which would put me at a total of 4 copies. You now see this note telling me to adjust. Total copies exceed order quantity. Please update number of copies below or click start over and then manage view uploads to delete edit. I will change this back to 2 and click upload. If there were multiple artworks and quantities and we did not get this information from you, your order would be delayed. I have all the table throws I need, so I would click add to cart. I do want to grab another product though, so let's click continue shopping. Let's go ahead and grab a tent. This item has more print options and I want to show you that as well. We're going to go with a 10-foot package this time. Let's click order detail, drop down and select a package. Graphic package or graphic only. I'll do graphic package. Next, we're going to select the trim option. This is a mandatory field. We're going to go with white. Just like the table throw, we can upload files here if we want and add a PMS match, but I'm still waiting on artwork for this tent, so we will wait on that. Let's go ahead and check out for add to cart.
Before we do that, I want to throw it over to Will, but we want to mention that the order detail and select trim option, all that stuff is actually a dynamic field. So whenever you do select something in there, the price is gonna adjust right on the same page. So you can see all this happen if you're changing the sizes or anything like that, adding hardware, graphic only, the price will reflect right then and there. And I'm gonna throw it over to Will, who's gonna talk a little bit more about a couple things, stock and locations. Will?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Will. I'm part of the web team here at WS Display. So I wanted to take the opportunity here to showcase some of the features that we've added to our product page here, based on some of the feedback we received from our customers on what could facilitate placing an order and information about our products in order for you to properly quote your customer on our availability. So as you can tell here, Brian did touch on our new product style, which is our matrix products. What this allows is one product page instead of how we previously had it, where we had an individual product page for each variation of a product. All you have to do simply now is open up the main product page and select all the options. And in real time, it does go ahead and update this underlying SKU that exists for that product. So what you'll see is the pricing match the appropriate package. If you have a graphic package, it'll show you pricing and quantity pricing to match that. Or if you were to change it to graphic only, you would see the pricing to match the graphic onlys. Along with that, you'll also see the individual options for each product in conjunction with the location that they're currently available on. As you can see here in this screen, on the right-hand side where it says web store locations, you'll actually see California and Pennsylvania being crossed out with a line through it, while the Fulfillment Center Pacific remains a blank option. Now, this is to signify that California and Pennsylvania are currently not available for this product. However, Pennsylvania or our Pacific Center is available to purchase from it. Now, with that also being said, is above that, you will see the availability and our Pacific stock. And you can see they're denoted by the 2,343. Now, what we do here is we take the most significant component of a product, say in this case, the frame, and we use that to determine how many potential products we actually have in our location to be able to fulfill. Now, this is useful for you if you're planning on doing a large bulk order where you're ordering multiple units of it. You can see how many we actually have in each location. Now, if California and Pennsylvania were also available to ship for this item, you would also see the California stock and the Pennsylvania stock to match that. Now, with that being said, is at the bottom of the page below the add to cart, you'll see the product downloads and product informations. Now, these are actually expandable fields down here. So as you swap between each matrix item, you'll actually see the template and spec sheet adjust accordingly. Now, most of the products do have a general spec sheet, which includes the graphic onlys, but the templates will match. If you're changing from, say, for example, a 10-foot to a 9-foot item, you would see the template adjust accordingly. So you keep that in mind when uploading artwork, that if you haven't updated the actual options that are available for that product, the upload art file may be looking for a different product and your art file will be essentially the wrong template size for it. So use that when you're looking for it and compare that against it. And if should you have any issues still with your artwork not making the template specs required for that product, you can always reach out to our graphic team at graphics at WS Display or web team at web at WS Display should you have any issues uploading. Now, with that being said, I'll go ahead and pass it on back over to Brian to continue with the presentation.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. We'll go right into it.
Okay, at the checkout page now, you can see I have my tent and I also have my table throws, which include my PMS matches for the throw, $50 each. A quick note about the pricing of PMS matches is that is $25 per color per material. So if you were purchasing a 6-foot and 8-foot standard drape table throw and you wanted to match Pantone, let's say red 185C for a logo or background, then you would only have to buy one match because they're the same color and printed on the same material. If you wanted to match a standard drape table throw and a multi-stretch table throw, there would be two charges, even if it was the same color, because these two table throws use different media. Okay, back to my order. Since I already uploaded files to the throw, you can click the drop down here and see what we have. File name, any notes, and the quantity to print of that file. You can also edit or remove the items at this time. If everything looks good, we can go ahead and click proceed to checkout for shipping. On this page, you can see we have updated our shipping address book where you can add new or search for a previously used shipping address. I'm going to select Chris to Pascal. I can then scroll down to select my delivery method, add my in-hand date if I have one, and finally add what email proof notifications go to. After that, add in payment, billing information, and purchase order if I have one. Everything looks good. Agree to the terms and place the order.
So I want to have Will jump in here one more time to talk about in-hand date and maybe one or two more things. Go ahead, Will, whenever you're ready.
Perfect. So again, based on the feedback that we received from a lot of our customers, we did go ahead and update our checkout page here. Notably, you'll see under the delivery method, you'll see the estimated ship date. And we see here in this order, it's 8/21/23, as well as underneath the in-hand date, you'll see the estimated delivery. Now you do notice that this is actually a range here. Now this will be updating depending on the ship method that you have selected. So in this case, if you have UPS ground selected, UPS ground is typically a 1 to 5 day transit time, depending on where it's going and obviously the location that it's shipping out from. Now this is all just estimated delivery times. Again, it all depends on any weather conditions or UPS's actual transit time, but we have this information available for you for filling out the in-hand date. Now, your in-hand date, that is the date that you want to notate for us to know when you actually need it by. And the site will actually prompt you and say, if you're selecting an in-hand date, which your current ship method won't make it in time for, it will alert you, letting you know that you may want to upgrade your shipping. Now, if you do have a specific in-hand date that is on the same day that it's expected to ship out, the site will actually prevent you from entering that in-hand date. Since a lot of our shipments, even at the most shortest the transit time, that being, for example, a California shipping to California, would still be a minimum of 1 day transit time with UPS ground. So it would be impossible for the in-hand date to be the same day. Now, this does differ from if you do have an in-store pickup at our California location or our Pennsylvania warehouse, you can go ahead and let us know. We can adjust it on the back end, but it is just here to prevent you and give you kind of a warning sign to let you know that there may be conflicts when you're in hand date. Now, the ship date that is shown here for the estimated ship date, this is based off the standard turnaround time for our products and assuming you approve the proofs that you receive for your graphic within the time frame allowed. Now, any delay in either the approving portion or having to resubmit artwork will move this ship date. Now, this is only here for the checkout process, just again to give you a kind of quick clue if you do have a specific date that you need it by, that how close you're basically cutting it to your ship date. And these aren't exactly set in stone, and we won't really know the ship date until you actually approve the artwork and we actually schedule it for production. Now, along with this is one of the changes you may have already noticed when checking out in the WS Display site is when entering an address. We now use the UPS address validator. So if you do enter an address in there where UPS flags using their API saying that it may be invalid or there is typos or any kind of abbreviations they may want to change, you'll see a pop-up suggesting you the address that UPS recommends. Now, if you do have issues with this and you've double checked that your spelling is all right, the abbreviations match what UPS, what your customer expects it to be, and UPS still flags this as an invalid address, feel free to reach out to us and we can go ahead and adjust it and we'll send it as is that way. Now, again, this is kind of just meant to facilitate the transit and delivery of these products, and of course, we want to make sure that they reach their end destination correctly. So it's just a heads up to let you know, hey, UPS is already kind of flagging it as a potential for something to go wrong with this order, and we just want to get ahead of it before it becomes an issue. So the site will kind of check you, and if you need to, just go ahead and update the address, resubmit, and then it should accept everything to go forward. Now I'll go ahead and pass it back on to Brian to continue the presentation.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
Feel free to add any order notes as well. Okay, great. Now we have a confirmation and a sales order number, and I finally have the tent artwork ready to go. I can either upload directly from this confirmation page by clicking Manage Files, or from any page you can just select the upload icon in the top right corner, and that's what I'll do. This will take you to our new and improved graphic order status page. We have made it much easier to jump between statuses of your order and clearly see what needs to be uploaded for, what is awaiting approval, etc. Since we just placed this order, it will be right at the top, and as you can see, it shows we have uploaded artwork for the table throws, but still need to upload artwork for the tent. Let's upload that file for the tent. As you know, there are many more finishing options for tents because if you wanted, you could upload something different for each side. The quantity is still 1, but we now allow up to 4 files per that quantity of 1. When I upload a file, you will see we have much more options to choose from. First, we ask for which tent this is for. In the case that you're ordering multiple tents, I'm going to make this tent number 1. As you can see, we have print options that are geared more towards finishing a tent. We selected the top 3 that we see the most of. All 4 sides, this automatically changes the copies to print for this file to 4. We now know that tent number 1 is just this file 4 times. Alternating sides, this automatically changes the copies to print for this file to 2. We now know that the tent number 1 is going to have this file printed twice and finished opposite of itself and need more files. One side only. This automatically changes the copies to print for this file to 1. We now know we need to print this file 1 time and need more files. This is where the file notes really come in handy. Like I mentioned before, the more the merrier for tents. You are more than welcome to have a tent finished different than the above. All we ask is you make it very clear in the notes to what goes where, or email a mockup to graphics@wsdisplay.com with this SO number before approving the artwork. I'm going to select alternating sides. As you can see, we've updated that we've only uploaded 0.5 of the 1. Now you can see we have one of one, so we are good to go. Everything is uploaded. Let's check out some proof emails. With our revamped quick proof system, you are seeing proofs and proof emails much faster than ever before, usually 1 to 2 minutes after uploading. Unless the file is huge, then it's going to take a little longer. As you can see, we have the approval email here. It shows items, order number, and estimated ship date for this order. Next, we have a large view proof button. Can't miss it. And below that is a link for your custom proof sheet with the logo we uploaded. This proof sheet shows all the proofs for the order. You will see 2 per file uploaded for most of our products, as we like to show the safe areas and your artwork underneath to make sure everything is where it needs to be. You will also want to make sure only one of your proofs has template elements on the proofs. You do not want to approve the files if both of them have so lines, safe areas. You want to make sure everything on that low-res proof is okay to be printed. Here's the proof sheet with our updated logo.
Just going to jump in one more time here. So as you can see, like I was mentioning, your logo, not our logo, will be up in the top right. Under that's the contact information and the phone number of whoever you want. This is for you guys. We want to use these, send them to your customer, and then hopefully that helps, and something a little easier for you guys to do. And once we get back to the other page, I'll also mention download this as a PDF from that page, and then you can download all the individual proofs from that as well. So we're kind of giving you everything you need to go ahead and get this order approved via your customer.
You can also see your contact information at the top under the logo. Jumping back to the email now. Here's the links to download each proof. For this item, this is the table throw. Now we will jump over to the tent email. As you can see, we have all the links now. Proof sheet we already looked at. This is where you could download all these and send them to your customer if you like. If you already have approval or sent those proofs and got approval, go ahead and come back to this email and click the giant View Proof button. Most likely you will have to log in again unless you were just logged in, but I was just logged in. Here we have the tent proofs. You can cycle through all 4. Overlay, low res, overlay of each. If there are any questions on proofs, just simply reply back to the proof email. Your reply will go to our graphics department and we will respond as soon as possible. If you see something that is wrong, feel free to click the reject button. Once clicked, you'll be prompted to select the files that you want to reject and add any notes for our graphics department. Once rejected, you can then re-upload. Rejecting will remove this number of copies from the total quantity for this item and let you upload more. If everything looks good, click Approve. Once all proofs are approved for this order, you will receive a Start Printing email notification as a confirmation that your order is processing and will be shipped as soon as possible.
And there we go. So that's it for the video
Today I'm going to
on
show
there.
you a quick
I
but
knew I was
detailed
going to do that.
overview of some of.
And now we're going to jump into our live Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and check that chat, and we'll see if you guys got any questions or what's going on. I don't see any yet. I know there was some questions about our cutoff times. So most of the time, normally it's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard. So anytime if you approve after that, then you will be as if you approved the next day. Let's see, got one here. So this question, what are the white and black trim options for the tent? So that's basically, that's where we adhere the graphics together. So we, rather than just have one option, black or white, you get to choose. So kind of, I would normally choose one that goes with your artwork. If it's an all black tent, don't choose white, but those are the 2 options that we have there. And we have, if when you're on the page, if you click into the site, it does, our little mock-up does show it with black and with white with our graphic. Let's see, next one. Let's see. For a Pacific Fulfillment Center, should we add 1 business day for the production transit, or is that accounted for on the site? That is accounted for on the site, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. Someone has a question about the proof sheet, the audio. So all you have to do to upload your art, your logo is go to your profile information page, and then there'll be one section on top for your standard, email and phone number, and then below that says customer proof sheet, where you add your proof email, and then where you upload your logo, and then you can preview it. As for the FedEx account, I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check on that one, Samara, but I'm pretty sure we have in the past. She's asking if we allowed third-party shipping.
Yes,
Will, do you
and
know about that one?
yes, I can chime in for that. If you have a
Perfect.
different FedEx account, we do allow you to set up your own pickup. You would have to call FedEx to set up the pickup for it. And then when you're checking out, simply all you would do is select the shipping option for I believe it's TBD, so to be determined. That'll cause the shipping to zero out on your order. And then on the custom notes, do notate for us that you will be providing your own FedEx account number or shipping label. So also if you want to use your own UPS account or provide your own UPS labels, we can also accommodate that. So when checking out on the website, just go ahead and select to be determined, and then write in all the information on the notes. What that'll cause is it'll jump out of our automation. Our customer service team will see that order and then usually reach out to you. So they'll verify that if you have any UPS numbers. So we do accommodate for it. But you would, in the case of FedEx, you would have to set up your own pickup to our location. But we would be able to apply your own labels to it and get it all sorted for you. And if you need any kind of coordination with that, just selecting TBD on our on the checkout will cause our customer service team to reach out to you. And that it also goes for any courier service or any freight type LTL shipments and stuff like that. So we can definitely always accommodate for that, and just always reach out. We're glad to help, and just put as much information as you can in the comments, or just give us a call, and we can definitely sort that all with you.
Hey, Will, since you're still here, we had a question about to be able to delete addresses from the address book. I've never done it personally, but I figured there's a way to
Yes.
do it.
So yeah, as some of our more veteran customers are aware, is when placing a ton of orders, eventually your address book does start to pile up. Now, unfortunately, one of the defects that we have is we did prevent everybody from deleting addresses from your address book. This is simply to avoid the case of deleting an address before your order actually ships out. So what we'd have is essentially an order going through the automation with no address, and unfortunately, the system's backend would just pick a random address now from your address book and ship it out to that location. So what we did is we prevented the addressing, but you can always reach out to our customer service team, and they can go ahead and check all the addresses and see if there's any currently for any live orders, and then simply delete the rest from your account. Now, if there is any reoccurring addresses, or say, for example, your main billing address, we would obviously leave that one there. And then any other ones, if say you have repeat customers that you're often shipping to, we can go ahead and exclude those from the search, and then essentially just delete the rest from your account to make that address book a little bit easier. Now, with the address book, we did add pagination. In the past, it did just kind of endlessly scroll through all the addresses in here, and some of our customers do have quite a large number of addresses. You'll now see pagination in there, so you'll kind of be able to kind of go through that a little bit more. But if it ever does get too out of hand, definitely reach out to us, and we can go ahead and clean up that address book for you.
Thanks, Will. We had another one asking about a physical proof sheet. Eileen, I think maybe you're wondering about a hard copy proof, like on the material itself. We could do either. What you would normally do, some customers place the order separately. You can actually add it onto your current order, and then we'll separate it off so we can ship out the hard proof first, and then make sure everything's good with it before we go on with the full order. As for physical proof sheet, it's the actual proof sheet itself is a PDF. You can download it, print it, do whatever you like with it, if that was your question. The next one, let's see. Are the proof PDFs we download only available from the email, or is it on the site somewhere as well? I believe the links we have set on the email but you can go in and click when you're going to approve the artwork. You can go in and click, and it'll show a bigger view of that, and you can just download it from there if you want. But we are working on as well one-click download for all the proofs. That's something we are working on. It's not ready yet, but it's something that will be in the works. I know that's one or two or three probably people have asked about that. So we're definitely we hear you, and we're working on it for sure. Let's see. For the proofing, this was a question, Frank, for the proofing page, how can we put our logo on it so that we can send it to our client for approval? So basically, I would just suggest using the proof sheet that we make. It's already got your logo on there. If you wanted one specifically with just let me send it to our customer. Yeah, if that the proof sheet works perfect for that. It's going to have all the proofs on it. So like I said, just go to the profile information page, upload your logo there, test it out, make sure it looks the way it should, and then download the proof sheet from the email that we send. Any other branding with your logo we are working on, but that's right now that's the only way that that's going to get on there.
And I know this is the second time we've gotten this question. So do you want to go ahead and rewind the video just to that portion so we can show where that profile information part is of
Sure.
where you can upload the logo? Now, again, in the video, we upload WS logos, but in your case, you can go ahead and update your own logo in there. And when you preview the proof sheet, your logo would be substituted in there. So again, depending on how you deal with proof sheets with regards to your customers, some customers choose to just forward along this PDF straight to the customer and then reply back with the email. And some people like to download the images separately, make your own proof sheet. So we do give you the files to do that as well. You can make up your own proof sheet and then forward that to your customer, or however your current approval process goes for it. But we do provide the proof sheet here as a PDF to kind of speed things along. If you're just fine using this kind of base template we've laid out, you're more than welcome to use this one. And we've added the logo here. As you can see on this video, when we update it, this is what the customer would see. So if you're fine with this kind of style, this layout, pretty simple. Again, it has your order information and it substitutes in the contact information. Now, this is where you'd want to put if you have a specific email that you use for your approvals, or you have a graphic designer within your own company, or a specific extension or number to specifically deal with approving the artworks, you can just update that in the profile information and it would substitute inside of this proof sheet. Now we want to kind of make this PDF here be the long-standing kind of easy, quick way to get it to your customers. But you're always welcome to download any of the images on there, either from the email itself or simply right-clicking and saving as and forward that along to your customer. Now, always kind of double check in case some of your order comments, may have more information that you might want to adjust and not want to see your customer to see. You always kind of want to vet it at the end and do that route, but usually that it's a pretty good starting point. And we can always adjust the template if we get enough feedback on any other fields that would be beneficial for you to have on that generic proof sheet. We can always go ahead and add that, and just feel free to reach out to our web team here at Web at WS Display, and then we can go ahead and put that for it.
Next one is how can we update or delete saved addresses in the checkout? I think you went over that as well, Will. I don't believe we show it in the video, but maybe just a quick.
Yeah, so when you're creating a brand new address and you're entering it in there, it won't actually save it into your address book if it's an invalid one from UPS, and it will ask you to update the address or cancel out that screen if it is an invalid one. And then in reference to old addresses from previous orders, those just go ahead and reach out to our customer service team, and we can kind of work together to make sure that we only delete the addresses that are no longer being used and not for any active orders. That's the main thing we want to make sure, is that any active orders you may have, we definitely don't want to delete the addresses for those, just to not complicate any of the delivery aspect of it. But after that's the fact, we can go ahead and clean it out just to make it a little bit easier to manage. And we are working on a solution to make that a little bit more of an automated process. But for the moment, just to deal with the current limitations of our software is unfortunately we will handle that manually for you. But you can always reach out to customer service, info at WS Display, and they can help you with that, or just give them a call in and they can kind of help navigate that with you.
I got another one for you, Will. How do we handle special labeling and packaging slips that are required for the end users? So basically just like custom labels, I think. We have a SKU number that are required before the good ships. Do you know about that, or should we double check with warehouse?
If you provide your own shipping labels, I know certain customers like to provide their own labels already. We can go ahead and just download them and print them using our label printers and just put them on the box on there. So you are allowed to do that. You would again during the checkout process select TBD and then just give us instructions on the comment section or including the link to download those labels and we can slap them on there as well. To kind of help with that. And any kind of special needs that you may need for the delivering portion of it, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and we can coordinate with our warehouse team so everybody kind of knows what's specifically going on with the order and we make sure that it goes out the way you intend.
Thanks, Will. Is there any way to change the order number? Oh, is there an order number field on the proofing sheet? This would work great if we could put our own internal order number on for reference. Actually, it says order number, but we already have that to work to whatever PO you give us is going to go on the proof sheet. Let me jump back to that. Just bear with me here. I can kind of show you. I know it says order on there, but I think the better one is probably over here towards the end. Yeah. Oop, I just had it. Yeah, so where do we have it? I think it was there. Maybe order comments. I know we did have it. That's easy for us to add back. I'll double check with the development team on that. But yeah, no problem at all. Oh yeah, order number. I know it has ours right there. But
I think during the demo we didn't check out. Normally during the checkout process, there is a place for you to enter your PO number, and that would be in addition to the sales order. So if you did enter a PO number, you would see, the SO,
right.
which is ours, and then below it you would see, PO number, whatever you chose to enter there. Now again, that could be however your external reference team is. That would be a number you enter for your own kind of being able to track the order on your end.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Will. I knew it was there. I knew there was something like it because this had come up when we started doing this before. So definitely don't really care so much about our order number, but definitely want your POs and stuff on there for sure. So we definitely get that. And do all orders ship as a blind shipment standard, or do we have to put in the notes every time we place the order, ship it blind? I'm pretty sure I'll probably have to go back to Will on this, but I'm pretty sure it's signs and displays is what our label is, which is super generic. Will, can you confirm?
Yes, so we do have the option to do both. If we noticed, obviously the automation takes a look at your default billing address for your company. If it's shipping to an address other than that, by default, it will select it as blind shipment. We can also go ahead and update the return labels for that. So if you would also like to kind of customize that so that when the customer receives it and they have, the return label information, it would show your company's information as the shipper. We can always go ahead and do that, and you can just reach out to our customer service team. We can fill that in for you. But by standard is if it's shipping to a destination other than your default billing address, we will be blind shipping it, and you'll see kind of a generic label that we kind of put on there. It'll just say kind of signs and display. It will, I believe, unfortunately show 5960 Pascal Court, but usually this is enough to, avoid any kind of scrutiny from the customers unless somebody does want to look up the actual tracking numbers and addresses and see what building's actually there. But we find that that's very rare and usually isn't a problem, but for the most part, it will be shipping blind. We do our best to make sure that no time do you ever see a WS Display logo or reference at any point during the order process, either in packing or the labels themselves. You won't see any of the WS Display since we are B2B and shipping directly to the consumer for the most part of the majority of our orders. We are kind of vigilant about making sure that we remain behind the scenes if that's what your business model chooses for. So and you can always, if you have any concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and they can answer any questions that you may have with respects to just how our blind shipping aspect works and white labeling and stuff like that, just to make sure that, like, again, you always want to review any information we send you before you pass it on to your end user, if you choose to kind of keep us hidden from the end user.
And I'm just going to run through real quick. I know we had a couple different people asking about how to add the logo. So I'm just going to play this one more time. And this is just the beginning. It'll just be like the first couple minutes of it. And I'll just kind of have it muted. But so you're going to go to, I'll stop right there. You're going to go to up at the very top. It says welcome to WS Display. It'll obviously say your company name or name. Click that. And then under settings, you'll click profile information. And then it's going to get you to this page where you probably have already the profile information. I believe you have to have filled that out beforehand. So that should be there. You can edit it as needed. This is all stuff this has nothing to do with the proof sheet. This is just your profile. Phone number, email address. Below that is kind of the newer section. This whole page got an upgrade, but the bottom part was never really there. So this is a customer proof sheet. So you can put whatever email you want on the proof. Preferably, you don't want a customer hitting up your customer service department about artwork. So you would put a graphic person or something like that if you have one. Email their phone number, and then you would just upload your logo right here at this spot. So I'll go ahead and just play this real quick, so you can see I go in and upload. Eventually, you can do the preview proof sheet is a good tool to have, because you want to be able to make sure and see what it looks like before your customer sees it. So you'll upload something and then it'll go. If I can get this to go here. There we go. Okay. So you can see I'm throwing in a box or a portrait size logo. It's more of a square. Go in there, you click preview proof sheet, boom, it shows you exactly that's what it's going to look like on there. It'll even show your the email and phone number. I didn't really like the way that one looked. As you can see, there's white space on the left and right. So I'm going to go back and do more of a portrait, a wider logo. And then you can preview again. And this one looks much better. As you can see, it fills the space. So that is the way to upload your logo. And like I said, I mentioned or shown before, we have anytime you get the email, the proof email, it's going to say download proof sheet, so you can get it right from there. And like always, if you have any other questions, graphics is always around, web's always around. So just shoot us an email, graphics@wsdisplay.com, web@wsdisplay. We're happy to help. We thank you guys, everyone, for joining us, and I hope this was helpful. We appreciate it. Will, do you have anything else to add?
No, it seems like we kind of summed it up. So
let me just double check the Q&A. Yeah, we're good to go. So once again, thanks everyone, and see you soon.